Hey guys, I'm back. I want to give you a few extra bits for graphing linear equations. We're going to take a little bit of a side path though. Let's say you were given some points, 2 points in fact. You were asked to graph the line, and then you were asked to give the equation of the line. So I'd like to work through that with you. You've seen it a little bit here and there. Let's go through it one more time. All right, so if you were given 2 points, say you were given the points -2, -1, and 4, 3. So you were given those 2 points and you were asked to graph them. Might not be too hard, so let's give it a shot. Let's get our graph paper, homemade graph paper out there. You can make it yourself. We're going to go -2 to the in the x direction, in the negative x direction, and down 1. So we have a point right here. And then we have another point, 4, 3. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, which is right here. And this line is going to go through and pierce somewhere along here. We don't know where yet. We'll just draw kind of a dotted line as an approximation. So we know our graph is going to kind of look like that. Now, you're also asked to, so we kind of graphed the line, but we haven't really finished it because we have to find the x-intercept and the y-intercept. We don't know those yet. But in order to find those, we need to find the equation of the line. So let's go ahead and do that. How do we do that? Well, we have 2 points. We can find the slope of this line because we have these 2 points. So we're going to take and define this one as y2, and this part of the coordinate is y1. This is x1, and this is x2. All right. It actually doesn't matter which order you put them in, but we have this equation for the slope. It's y2 minus y1 over x2 minus x1. And that's going to equal your slope. So let's just calculate that. Y2 is 3, so that's 3 minus -1 over x2, which is 4 minus -2. And so we're going to get 3 over, because 3 minus -1 is just 3 plus 1, over 4 minus -2, so that's 4 plus 2. So it's going to be 4 over 6, which is equal to 2/3. All right? So you have 2/3 as the slope. Your slope, m, is 2/3. A very important thing, because that is what we also call the rate of change. Very important for real world problems to understand what rate of change really means. It is the slope or the change in height in the y direction over the change in the x direction. All right, so we're not quite done yet. Now we have to take this information that we have, and we're going to graph, I'm sorry, I'm not going to graph. We are going to take it, and we are going to take one of those points, -2, -1, or we could use 4, 3. We've got the slope right here, and we've got these points right here. So what we're going to do is we're going to write the line as y minus y1 equal to m times x minus x1. That again is called the point slope form of the line. So let's take one of the points, maybe x1, y1, which we defined as these guys right here. Actually, it doesn't matter which one you do, which point you use, though. This is x1 right here, right? So y minus y1, or -1, is equal to 2/3, that's our slope, times x minus x1, which is -2. All right, we have to do a little bit of magic here, not too much, it's just math. Math magic. Y minus -1 is y plus 1 is equal to 2/3 times x plus 2. All right, this is our point slope formula line right here. So let's find those intercepts. Remember that an intercept is just where you intercept or pierce either the x or y axis, either one. To find the x-intercept, what do? You set y equal to 0. So this is the x-intercept. So we need to solve for x. So let's do this. So if y is 0, we're just going to set this equation to 0 plus 1 is equal to 2/3 times x plus 2, and we need to solve it. So 1 equals 2/3 times x plus 2. Now, what's really cool is you can multiply by the reciprocal. We're just going to multiply both sides by 3/2. We're multiplying by the reciprocal of this fraction 2/3. When we do that, we're going to get the number 1. So this is going to equal 1, but whatever we do on one side, we have to do on the other, right? So we're going to multiply 3/2 on the left and 3/2 on the right. And what we're going to get is 3/2 on the left and 1 times x plus 2. Well, we can just simplify that as 3/2 is equal to x plus 2. Pardon me. X plus 2. Subtract 2 from both sides. We're going to subtract 2 from this side, and let's move it up here. This is going to be 3/2 minus, again, 2 is the equivalent of 4/2 is equal to x, because these are going to cancel. So that's just going to be -1/2 is equal to x. A lot of work to get that x-intercept, but we can write that right there. Now, what this means is there's a point, and the point is -1/2, 0. And if we go to our graph, we can go to -1/2, which is over here, 0. So there is a point right here. That's the x-intercept. So this line is going to go kind of through there. And now we have to find the y-intercept. And the y-intercept is where we set x equal to 0. So let's take our equation once again. The equation is right here. And let's do that work up here. So if we set y plus 1 equal to 2/3 and set x equal to 0, what is going to happen? This is going to be y plus 1 is equal to, well, 2/3 times 0 is 0. So 2/3 times 2, we're using the distributive method, is going to be 4/3. We're going to subtract 1 from both sides, and we will get y equals 4/3 minus 1, which is also 3/3. So y will equal 1/3. So when x is 0, y is equal to 1/3. All right, so we're going to go back to our graph, which is right here. And when x is 0, y is 1/3. It's right up here. So really our graph looks a bit more, it's linear, but it's just that our x and y intercept are so close to 0. Using some kind of precision, at least to know what the x and y intercepts are, is very important. You're going to definitely be quizzed on x-intercepts and y-intercepts, not only with linear equations and linear functions, but also with all sorts of functions. So again, the key concepts here are when you're given a point, when you're given 2 points, you can draw a line. You can find the slope or the rate of change. Then you need to find the equation for the line, and you can go ahead and use the point slope equation for the line. But you must also find the x and y intercepts. So I hope this video has been helpful and it's renewed your understanding of graphing linear equations and sort of understanding, all the little bitty details of that. So thanks for listening.